Alrighty, hello every folks and good morning. So, a quick thing. I wanted to throw out a PSA here because I'm sure I can't be the only one that almost missed the fact that Armored Core Mobile 2 just came out. Which, by the way, I gotta say right off the rip. So this time around, it has the full 3D models and everything, which is hilarious because if you don't have any other things, any other cores to switch to, it's got jiggle physics. Any darn ways. Yeah, let's go see what this actually looks like, because I think this might just be arena fights or something. I wonder if... Is that the same abandoned factory, or... This looks like a different abandoned factory. Uh... Okay, well, they got... Interesting. Okay, so... How do you... Oh, you can actually turn. Okay. These controls are weird, but they work. Yeah, this is actually surprisingly not as supremely dogshit as I was expecting, but this is interesting. Also, did he just like double blade there? Yeah, I love how they're like not even kind of holding the holding anything right. In fact, in many ways, it's weird. This is kind of reminding me of if you've ever played MDK back in the day. Oh, this is so weird. Oh, he just exploded. Okay. Apparently, no combat music, which is distressing. And music that sounds like that one what was it, like VR Troopers or something back on the Genesis? Also, wow, this guy's got some interesting weapons for being basically the second in the arena. All right, let's see what else is in here. Board City. I mean, don't be too direct. Also, wait a minute. You can see through stuff. Also, I mean, at this rate, it's kind of looking like the starter AC is actually probably going to be legit. Also, how the hell do I even use my shoulder weapons here? Okay, so apparently you hit square, or your equivalent of square, to get your missiles, and then you just kind of go back and forth, shockingly. Oh, it's got analog support this time. Okay, cool. Actually, did it have analog support last time? I genuinely don't remember. But I guess it just couldn't possibly process music on top of everything else, so whatever. Like, this is interesting. Like, back if this was on a flip phone back in the day, yeah, I would have absolutely liked this. It's kind of interesting though that your back weapon, despite being on both sides there, it seems to only have one of them. Not sure what that's about, but they do have a functional, well, the kind of normal radar this time. Right. So is there even a shop, or is there only the arena? So there's training. What is survival? So I guess you just survive against MTs here. Although that's kind of cool that they actually give you a AP counter for the APs or for the MTs and stuff too. So this is what, like a survival mode kind of thing. All right, sounds good to me. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I mean, honestly, like genuinely, this is pretty cool right now. But yeah, so for those that never saw the first video or knew that the first one of these came out, basically the idea here is that these were like old mobile games. Um, Back in the day, basically like just on old Japanese flip phones, which we never ended up quite getting on this end of the pond, which is fine, honestly. We ended up getting the PSP remakes, and those were pretty freaking legit. So I guess, yeah, this is just like a standoff mode. I don't know if this actually ends, but yeah, I mean, for being like a little phone thing, you know, not bad. It's just arena fights. Got this kind of, I guess, Jacko went on a diet looking guy. Floating Arena and Homeworld. I love how slightly different they are. Okay, so let's see. Let's go for Floating Arena. Is anything different here? No, just kind of more of the same, huh? Not exactly, this isn't exactly, like, gonna be, Nexus ported to a phone or something, but it's alright. It's exactly okay. Um, Feels like you can kind of just strafe back and forth and blow the hell out of stuff so far. I can't imagine the AI would be too capable in something like this. Again, immediately though, I kind of prefer the first one. Weirdly enough, like as much as I love the fact that you can actually have full 3D in this one, um, like the lack of music is just weird. All right, get a win on that one. Sure. Okay, we get some jackals. Let's see what that actually looks like. Do it. This actually... Is this using the Nexus scheme at this point? Okay, whatever. Let's go for those legs. I don't know what exactly any of this is doing right now. Yeah, back unit is automatically both of them. Okay. Interesting. We didn't get any extra legs or anything. Now let's go ahead and turn this thing slightly yellow, I suppose. Turn the details slightly more orange. Well, that's ugly looking, exactly as I like it. There we go. Sounds good. But hey, at least it updates slightly faster this time. Also, I love how they can't properly like map the actual like weapons to to the model, so they just kind of hold them off to the side. Yeah. Is this necessarily worth $11? I mean, I can think of over a dozen indie titles I think I'd probably prefer to be playing, but you know what? It's really cool that this is here. So there's that. I am glad it exists, even if I'm not necessarily too impressed. I think it's just weird because, like, thinking the Armored Core 3. I want to say Armored Core 3 Portable came out roughly around the time that this one did. Then again, hell, I don't know. It might have been years apart. I don't know. Yeah, EOS Core. Okay, yeah, this definitely is the kind of late third gen scheme at this point. I don't think turn speed's an actual stat. Oh, whoops. Come to think of it, is there even boosting? How do you boost? He's got that. Oh, circle to boost. Okay. Yeah, it turns out flying is actually kind of important. Hang on, how to... There we go. Just kind of charging there for a second. You know, it's weird to me that for all the fact that they went through all the trouble to port this thing, like the fact that they gave it proper controls and everything, why did they refuse to let it use the normal control scheme? Like, I haven't remapped this. I probably will. Like, at this point, there's enough mechanics here to properly remap it to, like, the PSP control scheme, at least. But if you're gonna release this on, you know, basically Steam Deck, like, why can't it have the normal AC control scheme? That's the entire audience that this is aimed at. Anyway. So it seems like that's the general gist here. You just kind of like, you're doing basically Ninebreaker, more or less, without the randomized arena as far as I can tell. Maybe it's in there somewhere, I don't know. But yeah, we've basically seen everything that we're going to see. Board City sounds about right. And yeah, I guess you just kind of do more of this, and then you just kind of strafe back and forth, and there's not really too much of a reason to boost anywhere. Since it seems like the standard loadout is able to more or less match anything so far. Which, granted, it is obviously an early arena. There's only so much that realistically could be done there. And I mean, this is basically the case in most AC games. But, you know, maybe there's more to it. You can also just hold down the button instead of actually pressing it over and over. Seems like Board City is a great way to just do this, I guess. Does feel like sometimes they completely don't lock on whatsoever. The way that a lot of the shots use basically the exact same projectile animations reminds me of like, I don't know if anyone was ever here for RuneScape Classic, but that here. Oh, look at him being all agile and stuff. They're gonna move slightly. I'm just curious. Okay, so we're almost at the top of the arena here. I'm curious to see whether this actually will be the entire end of the arena here. Like, if you actually genuinely can get past the entire thing in the starter AC with relatively good good time here. I mean, he is hitting us with stuff, so that's slightly different. Oh, dude, it is so weird to aim, though. I guess it's no surprise that they did it this way, because, like, it is so freaking difficult to to try and angle anything here, especially while boosting. It's like it just does not feel great. Thank you, starter missiles. But yeah, rules seem to be roughly the same as the first mobile one, where it's just like rule of DPS more or less. A new arm weapon. This guy's got an MG1000 and a slug gun, although there doesn't seem to be any knockback, so... So is he just going to also fire the same random projectile here? That thing tracks. Why does the slug gun track? But on the plus side, we do have internal parts this time, to some degree. So that's slightly different. Trying to get into kind of like focus mode here. Okay, so now he's got the MG1000 out, which is still using the rifle projectiles. I don't really know why they went for these big chunky ones instead of the little, you know, pew-pew lasers that the AC3 used. Those were perfectly fine. Okay, got a booster. Now, one thing I've been noticing is the AI seems to... Okay, I was going to say for a second there, it seemed like the AI was reacting only when you moved. So I almost wondered if maybe maybe it couldn't track you if you hadn't moved yet. And they do seem to have some difficulty at the start of the fight. I wonder if they just have like a grace period or something. One thing that is for sure is the grenade rounds here have a lot of invisible splash to them. But as long as they're not using those, we appear to be fine. It's gonna be real funny if this ends up actually being the entirety of the content in this thing. Okay. Is this genuinely going to be even shorter than the first one? Showed up to do a first impressions and it's already over? It's like everything with starter missiles and that's all you need? I kind of wish that they had released these as like mobile apps instead of Steam games, to be honest. Like, I know Steam's probably going to be easier for them. Definitely allows it to stand the test of time a bit better. But, you know, it would have been kind of cool to just like play this on a phone or something. You know, considering the originals were on a phone, but maybe it takes some extra hardcore emulation or something. Who knows? Just seriously, the RuneScape Classic vibes are very real with this combat. Gonna have to put that in the thumbnail. I don't think this guy even touched me. Right, that was like rank 6 or something in the arena. Also, it's always permanently stuck at 956, apparently. Oh? Is there other stuff? Do you have to go through training to go through those? Alright, well, apparently you gotta do extra training to do those. What's, It's kind of weird that that's the one progression blocker. So... What? What on earth just happened there? This is weird. For some reason, it's like resetting everything? Like, it seems to be when you... Huh. Seriously, is it just resetting the entire room? Is that what this is? This is weird. Huh. Alright. Anyway, so presumably you go through this, and then you just kind of do the same thing with the other arena guys, and then that is about that. Well, apparently you need to... What do you need to do here? It says 10 out of 10 out of whatever here. Yes, that's 12 out of 12. Silver, okay. um, so I wonder, after we complete these, are we allowed to do the top 5? Apparently you're supposed to keep on doing this for 2 minutes. I'm not sure that this is actually an accurate portrayal of the rest of the game so far, but okay. Maybe missions unlock after you do this or something. I guess that's what we really want to find out here. Although that'd be funny if this was the one AC game that actually required you to go through training to actually do anything. Like, this is clearly the most mechanically complex one in the entire series. Pew, 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 pew. Truly, remarkably exciting gameplay. Like, I feel like I've seen some kind of mission mode happening on this, and I saw folks were excited about the third one, so I'm kind of thinking that's probably the one that has the actual missions in it, and maybe this one's just arena fights. Would have been cool if it had Ninebreaker's randomizer mode, though. If that's the case, like, honestly, just any kind of third gen AC game with a randomizer mode, if they had made that portable, that would have been real cool. I mean, I'm really surprised we had Formula Front, and for that matter, 2 different flavors of Formula Front, like 2 different releases of it, and still no randomizer mode. Like, that was just Ninebreaker. Okay, got gold, got some stuff, got the ghast. Okay, so I thought survival was going to be a bit different. Namely, like, I know we already did this one, but I thought it was going to be a case where you, like, survive as many as you can, which I think still might be the case, but just letting yourself get blown up apparently doesn't give you a score in it, so figure that out in a sec here. Shots. There we go, complete. Alright, so that is everything here done, with only one of them getting a non-gold rank. I wonder if... I guess you need gold on everything. Okay. I mean, for what it's worth, the second movement challenge is kind of interesting in that you have to deliberately go out of your way to stay away for 12 different relocations of these things. Then each time they relocate, they pick new spots. And those spots don't exactly physically make a lot of sense, but... you know, it's interesting, at the very least. So, in fact, I'm not 100% certain, but I think each one can only shoot once. Because, like, technically you're just supposed to hold out the waves here, but I feel like they only ever get a chance to fire once. That should be the end of it right there. Yep. The weapons for the first time. So apparently permanent human plus is just a thing in this one. so you can do chain gun and MG1000 without needing to do anything extra. So that's actually kind of a first for the franchise until 4th gen. So, you know, not bad, not bad. If you choose to do so, I suppose. It seems like everybody's hitbox is like slightly above where they are normally. And it's also just kind of relatively forgiving over what it counts as a hit. That's also kind of neat. I'm not sure that I would really stick with this chain gun over, you know, almost anything else, but I guess we'll find out later. Also, one more thing that's just kind of funny, I guess to avoid adding additional spots to the menu, the MG1000 is, or rather the Pixie 2 in this case, is the MG900 instead. Oh well. incredible amount of shooting going on. I don't think I've ever been this bored with an AC game, ever. I think that's everything. I don't know. So I got gold for attack and overall for movement. Just due to janky movement, I got silver, 2 bronze. I don't know if you need to all gold this. I don't know if you have to do better on survival. Like let's try that real quick, see if that changes anything. Because so far I still cannot get into that arena, so not sure what to do about that. But hopefully maybe this will do something, I don't know. But yeah, overall, this is neat, I suppose. Wouldn't exactly necessarily call it a tremendously great value or anything these days, but, you know, whatever, it's interesting. You know, it's cool that they brought this back for preservation's sake. I really hope that this means that they will end up doing the PSP stuff at some point. You know, for obvious reasons, like, these ones were definitely lost media for a while. The PSP versions are definitely technically lost media at this point. Sure, PPS's PP works fine, but also it just would be really cool to, you know, have them officially available and what have you. So, that'd be kind of neat. I know, like, again, as much as I love how good the pretty much one and only PSP emulator is, it's just, I don't know, there's always just something nice about official releases, you know? Even if they may be lacking some options, even if whatever else. It's just the fact that everybody's playing the same version with the same settings, it feels nice. You know, and I think that oftentimes gets lost whenever there's arguments over, like, which is the definitive version of this, that, or the other. It's just like, yeah, sure, some will have more features, some will have less, but also, we really gotta account for the fact that everybody playing the same thing is kind of important, you know? Now, sure, there will never be much of a community for something like this, but anyway. Also, yeah, sometimes the blade thing just, like, doesn't work. It just won't even appear. Not sure why that is, but, you know, just one of those things, I guess. But yeah, overall, you know, it's fine. It's $11. I feel like these probably could have been 5, but whatever. I'm sure there's some oddly specific reason for them being that much. That feels like a very, like, that's how much they were back in the day or something kind of decision. I genuinely don't know, but anyway, let's see. Okay. Alright, so gold rank on survival. Does that allow for... Nope. It says 22. What is 22? I don't know. Maybe that's meant to be a symbol of something. I have no idea. Maybe I accidentally skipped somebody on this list. I don't know. But as of so far, there's a decent number of extra parts and whatnot. We're up to a handful of heads, a handful of cores of different kinds. Interesting to see the Cronus there when we've basically just got, what, like 2 heavies and a lightweight. Anyway, arms-wise, we got 1 heavyweight. The rest all seem to be mid and lights. Looks like a couple of each leg type by now. Boosters, can't tell, necessarily. Generators, there's only a couple of them. Back weapon-wise, we've got verticals, we've got small missiles, we've got pod missiles, presumably. Or, multi-missiles, rather. Large rockets, plasma, split rocket, or split missiles, chain gun, and that. So, there's that. Right arm weapon-wise, we've got a bazooka, we've got the starter rifle, the Gast, the 1000 MG, and back to the bazooka again. Only 1 new left arm weapon in the form of the halberd or the Elf 2. Man, that thing is... Anyway, so that's about that. I don't actually know how to exit this menu, apparently. There we go. Alright, so, y'all have yourselves a good one, take care, and... Wait a minute. Did 5 just become... I think 5 just became available. Also, apparently you can... Okay, that was super weird. For some reason it was toggling boost. Chain guns are good for that. Can try it again. Maybe start off with the chain gun this time. And also maybe don't shoot at walls this time. And also maybe don't spend the entire fight the entire first part of the fight trying to remember what the controls were. got a feeling that the mailman just arrived because the dogs are starting to get pissed at something. Oh man, he's trying to do the last Raven so hard. He's giving it his all. Alright, there we go. He exploded into the ceiling. Sure. Why not? Cool. So we got the shade. Okay, so that is exactly what's going on here. So all we needed to do was go back and look at 5. And apparently rank or get gold rank in survival. Not sure if the other stuff mattered, but either way, that's all we needed for now. Also, actually, I noticed that there was a secondary control scheme that I haven't really been using up to this point. I use it for the training modes to some degree, but it's interesting that they actually do have double layers of controls for the Steam Deck, with the sort of typical movement and face buttons type stuff that we see going on here. But on top of that, they've got this other one that's like using both thumbsticks and then the back buttons on the thing. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, you can't really necessarily comfortably use both at the same time, so it's just kind of whatever. Alright. So that's kind of cheating, considering that I don't think I can actually look up. Oh, this is actually the most like Armored Core it's felt this entire time. Sitting here and dodging multi-missiles, which are firing in a weird pattern, namely that they're not trying to flank whatsoever, they're just kind of firing together. But sure. Actually, it reminds me of a very oddly specific thing, but the Twin Needle from Armored Core, or not Armored Core, but got a 1000 MG guy with the Moonlight, the world, the tiniest Moonlight in the series. It's so goofy, but it's amusing anyway. Almost. Number 2, and then number 1. I think we already know who number 1 is going to be, considering it's definitely going to be, you know, Baby Breath, 9-Ball, whatever you want to call them. Whichever version they decide to go with this time. You know, that worked out somewhat decently well, I guess. I mean, it is an accurate representation of how people typically do arena builds, I guess, but we just got the Moonlight. Yeah, inevitably. Wait, what? What kind of weird version of 9-Ball is this? Alright, whatever. We'll put on the Moonlight in a minute. Alright, feels like we need to be switching parts here real quick, because that chain gun is okay at best, I guess. Also, we got apparently just best in all categories Moonlight over here. Good to know. Dual missiles seem to be kind of the best, as it were. Oh wow, these are stupidly powerful, actually. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with this. Like, it's not even close in terms of how strong it is. Sheesh, yeah. Yeah, Spar toys are fucked in this one. I don't know if you saw it. The other stuff was doing like 1 to 200s. These are doing like 1,000. Oh yeah, no, that's it. That's the entire thing. Alright, cool. Well, thank you to the main programmer, sub-programmer, and character designers here. This is what, like a 5-person project? I mean, it's impressive that they got at least 5 people on it. So this isn't, you know what, it's neat. It's neat. I'm glad it exists. I don't think I'll play it again, but it's neat that it exists. Kind of wish that it had sound during fights. It would certainly help quite a bit. So yeah, that's about that. So, y'all have yourselves a good one. Thank you, and take care. Bye. Oh shoot, so I decided to keep looking for a quick second to see if there was anything extra, and there were some bonus fights. Check this guy out. So let's go to here. So I'm thinking it's gonna be the same, you know, like, just kind of dodge everything kind of situation. Look at this bullshit. Wonder if you get anything for beating this guy. But yeah, no, I think those are supposed to be like the pod missiles. Go up, you... Okay, pod missile guy done. Is there more past him, or is that like final 9 ball, basically? Oh, I get the Karasawa. Okay. So, yeah. There we go. You get to get the old Sawa and stuff like that. Ah, that's neat. That's neat.